October 4th, 1957, Sputnik launches into orbit. The communists now control outer space and Hollywood. But as ever, America responds. President Kennedy vows to
go to the moon in this decade and do the other thing.
And the U.S. space program launches into warp speed under the direction of a modest immigrant scientist. Soon, NASA assembles a team of highly skilled, diverse astronauts from a variety of ethnic backgrounds. Scottish, English, Swiss German, German, Scottish German, Swedish German, Irish, and more. With the whole country pitching in to make sure cost is of no concern, Apollo 11 takes off in July 1969. 3 days later, astronaut Neil Armstrong was stepping onto the moon.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
And 3 days after that, the first brave investigators came forward to prove that the whole thing was faked. Subscribe now for the 13-part series exposing the real story. Simplicity, improvisation, and guitars that sound a little drunk. These are the defining musical elements of the blues, that quintessential American art form. Created by first-generation African Americans, the paradox of the blues is its embrace of sadness in a country where everyone has always been happy, resulting in the genre's bewitching but famously cryptic lyrics. What could it mean? We'll never know. The blues began to spread across the nation when Robert Johnson sold his soul to the devil in exchange for becoming the world's greatest guitar player. A legend that must be true because only the devil could cause a poor black man to lament life in the greatest country ever known. Early blues artists distinguished themselves with evocative names like Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf, and Lightnin' Hopkins, a tradition that would inspire future generations of both hip-hop artists and anthropomorphic racing cars.
And a spectacular move by Lightning McQueen. Yeah, good job!
In the modern era, the blues would be perfected by such great Americans as Elvis Presley, Duane Allman, Eric Clapton, Keith Richards, the Blues Brothers, and this guy standing behind John Lee Hooker. Perhaps no other genre of music can capture so much of the human experience, whether the pain of heartbreak, the challenges of poverty, or the burning desire for macaroni and cheese. And while the popularity of the blues has waned from its heyday, its influence continues to this day in rock, rap, country, and a nationwide epidemic of clinical depression. Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, 1913. Brothers Wilbur and Orville Wright take to the air in a desperate attempt to leave North Carolina. That first flight lasts only 12 seconds, not counting 45 minutes waiting on the runway to taxi. But it ushers in one of America's greatest technological achievements, air travel. Within decades, American aviators were breaking new barriers. Charles Lindbergh flew across the Atlantic and returned a hero. Amelia Earhart flew across the Pacific. And, well, then in 1947, Chuck Yeager became the first person to fly faster than the speed of sound, ensuring that man would never again lose a race against a piano. Soon, everyone was discovering the joys of air travel, from the poor, unwashed masses to celebrities like Buddy Holly, Patsy Cline, Otis Redding, Roberto Clemente, Aaliyah, and John Denver. By the 1970s, air travel soared to new heights. Now passengers could fly across the ocean while enjoying a pack of cigarettes and the best entertainment available. And the miracle of flight continues to this day as America's most sober pilots and awake air traffic controllers keep the country soaring into the future with a 6-hour layover in Dallas-Fort Worth. The Internet! Invented by Al Gore as a gimmick to get Tom Hanks laid, this complex network of wires and antennas and shit has since completely revolutionized the way we shop, dick off at work, and make new friends.
Can you tell me who you are?
I want to know a little bit more about you first.
From the start, the World Wide Web offered exciting new forms of entertainment to rival television and cinema and, obviously, books.
I'm a cop, you idiot!
But few at the time knew that it would become a repository for all human knowledge and a resource for finding the answers to all of our most profound questions. By the 21st century, the internet had improved on and supplanted countless outdated mainstays of society, from journalism to money to thinking the earth is round. Of course, the internet wasn't perfect. Millions of boys aged 11 to 14 had their family's computer contract viruses because their friend came over and visited sketchy websites. For the last time, Mom, it wasn't me. I don't even know what ebony MILFs are. But with the internet now portable enough to fit in our pocket or be beamed directly into our eyes, Americans now need never stop enjoying the finest art, entertainment, education, and culture that the modern world has to offer. An endless feed of beautiful things that studies show makes you feel so much worse about yourself. Every nation has its own definitive sport. Bullfighting, sumo wrestling, speed walking. But no sport encapsulates its country's national spirit like baseball. Much like Zendaya, no one knows for sure when baseball first appeared. But starting in the late 1800s, Americans embraced the sport as a national pastime. And not just because it was clear we would never be good at soccer. Early fans flocked to see baseball stars like Babe Ruth, hailed as a new American ideal, a man who excels at his job despite being too fat to exercise. As time went on, baseball became more than just an excuse to drink 8 beers in front of your children. Major League Baseball has been at the forefront of great American traditions like fighting racism and doing racism. Baseball is so much a part of America that its terms have become part of our everyday language. Playing hardball means acting tough. A home run means a major success. And getting to third base means you got your licked. Of course, just like America, baseball has had its dark days. The gambling embarrassment of 1919, the steroid embarrassment of the 1990s, and the New York Mets embarrassment of 1987 to the present. But despite these setbacks, baseball, like America, endures. As year in and year out, Americans of all ages, races, and creeds come together to watch our national sport. As long as there's no football on.